Broadcasting 24/7 to the Irish community. RadioIrish.com.
It's inventive, informative, ingenious. Broadcasting 24/7 to the Irish community. This is Radio Irish. RadioIrish.com. RadioIrish.com.
So when you pick up a script nowadays, what is it you're looking for? Describe how you choose the films that you do.
It's a purely instinctive, emotional feel. It's intuitive. You just pick it up, you read it, either it says something to you or it doesn't. You go, "Ooh, I don't like that." Or you go, "My God, that's extraordinary, that's really weird or interesting." Yeah, and I don't want to do safe things. I want to do things that are controversial or are risque for the actor. I don't want to be doing just safe stuff. That's not what it's about. It's about doing something which is, more difficult than that. Otherwise you get bored.
Live from New York City, RadioIrish.com.
There's plenty of Irish in your blood, Malcolm. One of your grandparents was Irish, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, my mother's father was Irish and a McDowell, and in fact, I reverted to my mother's maiden name because there was another actor called Malcolm Taylor, which was my name. And both my parents are from Manchester.
Well, tell me something about your family links to Ireland.
I had an uncle, Uncle Fred, who was Irish, Fred McDowell. Everyone was very proud of their Irish ancestry on my mother's side, of course. And in fact, my father, when I told him I was changing my name, and I said, "Well, Malcolm McDowell." And he went, "Oh, for God's sake, why the hell would you want that stupid name?" I said, "Well, that's my mother's maiden name." "Oh, you don't want to be one of the McDowells?" I said, "Dad, it's too late now." And, he was always a bit miffed. But I've always felt this great affinity to that side of my family nature. I've always loved it when I've come to Ireland. I'd love to come there and make another film.
Live from New York City, RadioIrish.com.
Well, the Irish story, of course, Red Roses and Petrol, directed by Tamar Simon Hoffs, is one of your recent films in which you played the character Enda Doyle. What was it about Joseph O'Connor's story of the Doyles of Dublin that first caught your attention?
Well, when I read the script, I just loved it, and it was made on a shoestring. They made, with family money. Tammy's family paid for it. I mean, that's unheard of these days. So we all did it because we loved the story and the writing, and Joe O'Connor's beautiful play. And Tammy did a great job, transferring that to a screenplay. It's a wonderful family drama, but wonderfully interesting characters. And I love Enda Doyle. I just loved him. But there was a side of me that I could see in that character, and I was thrilled to do him. And the poetic side, he's a poet, a bad one, but a poet. And I just enjoyed tremendously playing with these young kids, especially Max Beasley. He's a fantastic actor, I think.
Live from New York City, RadioIrish.com.
Aubrey Morris, of course, who plays the chaplain in Red Roses, also appeared with you in A Clockwork Orange.
I actually called him in. I called him up and I said, "Look, Aubrey, because he's an old actor now, and I just try and I like to call him every now and again, make sure he's all right, and just keep an eye on him a bit." And I called him and said, "Look, I'm doing this little film. It's free lunch. Would you come?" Send the script, dear boy." So then I come back, and I was getting my messages, and I got this message from Aubrey Morris, and he said, "Oh, sorry, terribly sorry. When you said no money, I didn't think that you meant no money." Well, he turned it down. So I had to call him back. I said, "Aubrey, are you crazy? I mean, look, this is just a fun thing. I mean, forget it. It's just for free lunch." He went, "Oh, all right, I'll do it." So, and it was great because, he adds so much. He's such a wonderful, wonderful actor that he just made that, and he made it really work, and he made it interesting and fun, and he's such a great guy,
With director Tamar Hoffs, of course. Cinematographer Nancy Schreiber on Red Roses and Petrol.
Brilliant. Nancy is work is fantastic, and they did it so fast, and we did it in high definition, and then they transferred it to film. Nancy, I've worked with before. I did another film with her, and she's absolutely fantastic. She really is. I did a film, Chain of Desire, and that was another terrific film that she did.
Live from New York City, RadioIrish.com.
In Red Roses and Petrol, Malcolm, getting back to the film, there seems to be a close bond between you and the rest of the cast of the Doyle family, almost as if the family ties or some sort of connection was made offset between you all, and in particular between your character Enda Doyle and his son Johnny Doyle, played by Max Beasley, of course. Was there a sense of family amongst the cast during the shoot, and if so, how was that fostered amongst you all?
Well, we had a read-through, I remember, and I just went along to read the film. I wasn't quite sure whether, honestly, they really were going to make it or not, because you never really know until you start.
Right.
I've been involved in so many projects where, the last minute the money falls through or something. So we met at Tammy's apartment in LA, and we read it, and it was obvious how fabulous the whole atmosphere was, and it was quite extraordinary, and she's a lovely person, Tammy, and she's very good at casting and bringing the people together, and it's a great talent, doing that. And she really wanted Max. She'd seen me it prompted her about me. She'd seen me doing Gangster #1. God knows why. She cast me from Gangster #1 to this. I have no idea, but very diametrically opposite kind of characters. But it doesn't really matter, there's something about that Enda Doyle that I just absolutely loved. Anyway, obviously working with Max was very important. And as soon as I met him at the read-through, we got on like a house on fire, and he's just a wonderful, wonderful kid, and a great actor. He really is. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't make it in a big way.
A fabulous performance in Red Roses and Petrol.
Live from New York City, RadioIrish.com.
Did you identify things about your own family, Malcolm, within the story itself?
Yes, a little bit, of course. One always goes back to that. And as they say in Yorkshire, there's nothing so queer as folk. And, of course, one identifies with a lot of it. And, I use my father, I suppose, in him as well. You use everything you can, but I found him quite adorable, and I don't know why. I just found him, and I, of course, never wanted to play any sentimentality, of course, at all. And I just think it's very moving at the end when he finally gets the poem out, It's a wonderful piece. I'm just sitting here watching the golf. They got some wonderful courses over there.
Oh, absolutely. Have you been?
No, I've only just taken it up, really.
Oh, okay.
So late in life, but I'm completely hooked. I love it. Unfortunately, you don't want to be too much of a perfectionist playing golf, but it gets frustrating at times, but I'm having great fun playing.
When might we see you on some of our fine Irish golf courses?
Well, I'm thinking of taking a trip and come out and play them, because I hear they're amazing, and I'm dying to come to Ireland to play.
Live from New York City, RadioIrish.com.